The police got the Aboriginal trackers again and the troopers, and they raided this place early in the morning. Got them all, whoever they could pick up, they got them. And they tied their hands behind their backs like that, see? And tied a rope from a neck to the other one and led them along like a mob of camels, I suppose. And then the big moment came then, so the white police got up on top and they got stationed around behind the trees and everything without the Aboriginal people knowing. And they gave them these Snider rifles, see? And here were all these Aboriginal in a little circle then, they had them all in there. Supposed to have been 250 of them in there, see? So they opened fire on them. One Aboriginal trooper tried to make a run for it, but the police shot him straight away because he didn't do his job, see? When they came into the land, they came in to take over the land. They wanted to live in the land, so they had to get the Aboriginal people out of the road, see?
The bulk of the tribe had to move out of those dairy and timber industries, then sort of push back. And they came into the interior. So they moved and they settled, most of them settled along this where we are now. They even tried waging war, defending themselves. And they said, have you ever heard of a place called Bowen Knob or Bowen Hill? Bowen Knob. And they were Aboriginal soldiers, you see, defending this part of the country from that part that they pushed back. You don't see this in white history. Thousands of Aboriginal died at Bowen Knob so that these mob can push in.
The European brought their stock in, see? So the first thing happened there, the Aboriginal people didn't know what this big four-legged thing walking around, too big for a dog. So they speared it, and when they killed it, they found it was good to eat, so they didn't eat the whole bullock, but they did, cut some off it. There was a time when we were cutting cane at a place called Tully. I was 16 at the time. I was cutting with my father and we went into town one afternoon. And just on dark, this old Aboriginal man comes along. And he put his hand on my head like that and he said, stay with you. And now you're leader of your... And I thought, 16-year-old, you got to be joking, Dad said to me, he said, you know who that bloke is? I said, no. He said, you ever heard of Wild Jimmy? I said, oh yeah, only what you told me. He said, that was him. Well, I shook there because he's a very respected person, this Wild Jimmy. What he said, it had to be, what we would call now a half-caste race, descendants from that Bar-Barrum and Chinese. Most of the Bar-Barrum people are from the Chinese race too, see?
Which is why a lot of people say we're unique. I don't know how, but...
To accommodate the young woman, give them homes, and to grow up civilised, and they all had good homes. They married men with properties and all that sort of thing. Miners, and builders and farmers. They'd marry them off. Anybody who wanted to marry them. And at the time the Chinese came out here and they wanted wives. They took to the Aboriginal women, see? And if they wanted an Aboriginal wife, they had to apply legally through the courts, through authority. And they matchmake them.
And like they always point out the Asian bit, and you know, well, how did you get this? User, you know, use have got Chinamen and using stuff. But we can't class ourselves as Chinese because we're black, you know.
There's some full-blood people, but they still got the features of that Chinese, because it just happened like. That's why I said there was many Aboriginal women who married off onto Chinese men, because they were productive, like they were farmers, they were miners, they were everything, these Chinese people. They were very high-class people. So we lived a free life, but still, the white people used to watch us too, because in the sight of them, their eyes, as long as you had some sort of black skin, you're a black fella, see? You're an Aboriginal. And, well, I'm proud to be called an Aboriginal anyway.
I can't class myself as in a full blood, and I can't class myself as Asian, so... But I class myself as just an Aboriginal. It's easier. Well, that's what I am.
When our mother died, she died fairly young. There's nobody ever taken any of the kids and read them. No white people. They were read in their own family with their father and brothers and sisters, all of us. So we know about each other. You don't have to look for each other. We were together all the time, till we went about our work. And Tommy has never left the Bar-Barrum territory, except to go away and do some work. Tommy really lived around here. I don't think he's been very far anywhere else. But he worked on the cane fields.
He was a cane cutter.
And when the war ended, he came back into the mining, worked with my father.
I remember working for a man down in the Tablelands there. I used to just work and, more work. When dinner time came, he sang it, he went like that. And I kept working, see, he whistled again. I didn't take any notice. Then he come down, he said, Tom. And I'd turn around, I said, yes, like that. He said, I was calling you first. I said, did you? He said, yeah. He said, I whistled to you. I said, I thought you were whistling to your dog. It's like that. Well, that hurt him. Really hurt him, eh? He said, listen, young fella, he said, when I do what I want, if I whistle to you, you come. He said, if I sing out your name, you come, I said, no. I said, I wasn't brought up that way. I said, I know I'm a human, not an animal. Made it worse, see? That's what I say. Back in my good old days, I stood up for my rights. And I think I was in every right to do that. He said, well, it's dinner time. I said, okay, yeah, good, thanks. Yeah. So, washed my hand and went to take my boots off. He said, oh, your dinner's over there. I said, where about? He said, oh, when that block there in the wood here. I said, wait on. And I said, Jackie's days are gone a long time ago. I said, if I can't eat in there with you around a table, I'll tell him what to do with his food, see? And there's times rough. He said, all the other boys does this from the mission. I said, I don't come from mission. I said, I come from a respected home that I call a home, you know. He said, all right, I'll do it this time, but tomorrow, he said, you'll be eating out there. I said, tomorrow I won't be here. I said, you make my pay up now. I'm going right now. And still there's no law to say that any man can't better himself. That is one of the things that always stuck with me. They tell you how bad you are, but they can never tell you how good you are, because even the best of men, he's still got a lot to learn. And the older you get, the more you can learn. And anybody say that he knows everything, he don't even know anything. And the greatest of all those things is the love. If you can share your love with everybody, I reckon that's a great thing, if you can achieve that. And I want to get there yet. I'm still trying to get there and show my love and respect for everybody. With me, everybody's the same. Now I'll just tell you now, there's only one race I'm interested in, and that's the human race. You thought I was going to say Aboriginal race. Yeah, I did feel like I had something to do, and it was more like a dream for me, you know. I said, well, I really wanted to do something for the people, you know. Didn't know what it was, and kept on trying different other things. Went into mining, we went into all agriculture, and, you know, you name it, I just about had a go at it. I never even thought that it would be a chance to prove something or do something for the people. It just meant that, all right, well, we'll have a go at this land claim. And I wasn't really keen on it anyway, but I tried it. And, yeah, it's almost there. And it's just like this dream is now. This might be the thing that I wanted to do all the time. Given the authority from that person that day, and got recognition right through the land, black and white. That old man who put his hand in my head that day, giving me the authority. You know, I don't force this authority, but if I say something, they say, yeah, that's right. These sites, some sites that I like to take it, it's only me that take. No other elder can take you there. No other elder. Because he hasn't been given the authority from that man who put his hand in my head. See? And I still respect him even though they say he's gone, but the spirit is still here, see?
Like, I know when I'm not supposed to be somewhere because I can feel it. I just don't feel right being there, and I'll go back and say to Grandad, Grandad, I went here today and it felt like I felt really funny there, and you turn around and say, yeah, well, women aren't supposed to be there, that's a man's place. And, oh, right, okay then, I won't go there again. But yeah, it's very, very mystical.
When he roams the hills, he goes on his own. He goes on his own. What he knows, he keeps to himself.
You know, I go out in the bush on my own. That's nearly every day. I leave Herberton and I go around the hills. I do a lot of walking around, see. When I get tired, I just lie down under the tree and I go to sleep. And I tell my grandsons this, they say, Grandad, you must be mad, eh? They said, no, right over inside the mountain here. You lay down and just go to sleep like that. I said, yeah. Aren't you frightened somebody's watching you? I said, no, I'm frightened. I'm not frightened because I know that person is watching me. See? I said, well, I've got the old people, they're still around. I said, no, I know God. I said, if I'm in between the both of them, who's going to touch me?
Now they're coming out of the woodwork because they know how far Tom's getting. People who claim to be a Bar-Barrum, but he knows who's who. That's what I said. You have to ask him.
He's not after anything that belongs to somebody else. He's the kind of bloke who will share his last dime, share his last cent to help others. He's that sort of fella. He'd help other people. They needed help. He's not selfish like they abused him. They've called him selfish. When his opposition abused him for wanting everything, greedy, wanting to get his hands on everything, he said, what have I got?
Yeah.
I've been accused too of getting land just for myself. Yeah, that would be silly. If I can only sit down with those people and talk to them and say, this land is for you, because I got one foot in the grave now, another one on a banana skin, so hooray people, I'll be going soon. So I hope they look after them when it's all, that's my only hope, is that they will look after them and appreciate what someone has tried to have done for them, see. But that's my dream. If the people will only just realise, sit down and talk, I can answer their questions. Not for me, but for them.
He's like my father, and he's my father because he taught me the things that my father didn't teach me when he passed away.
Well, I knew that I'd have to walk from Mariba to Atherton. I thought to myself, well, here's a long haul. And I happened to be coming across, I pulled into a garage there and bought myself a packet of cigarettes. So I thought, right, I'll start hiking along, and then next up comes along Tom and got speaking to him and that, and well, I was just let out of the clink then. And then that's when he asked me, he said, would you like to come out and have a look? I said, oh, well, I made up in mind, bingo. I said, well, that's it. Here's the opportunity, and that only knocks once, so I'm taking it. And I've been here ever since. And I'll be here until it's well and truly completely finished. That's it, until this place is well and truly developed. He did me a good turn, so I'm going to do him one. And now the thing is that he was saying that it's left up to the young fellas after we pass on, as long as they keep their knowledge in their head, and pass it on to the next lot.
I'm thankful for Roy, because I've been trying to get at him all the time, you know, but he didn't know that. But when I went around to pick him up that day, he was right. He's ready to come out. And I knew he'd stop too, because his way of life is in the bush, doing these sort of things. He can please himself when he works, and he pleases himself when he knocks off, and that's how he's always been. And only last year he'd finished cane cutting too, so he'd no chicken, but there you go. So he still had to do something. little bit of leftover land for a little bit of leftover people. That's what it is.
I never used to drink or smoke or anything. I used to be all into sports one time ago until I lost my wife, and that sort of set the ball rolling. I started from one beer onto another, and then I more or less was just getting to be an alcoholic. Till I run into Tom and took the opportunity to come back out bush, and bingo, I've never felt better in all my life. Come out of the deep dive sort of thing, and that's that. Feel healthier. I used to have to take tablets, but I haven't taken them for months, and I feel there's no need to take them.
Yeah, and
Heavy machinery.
Roy was a boxer once time ago too. He was a lightweight champion of Queensland. Something, bit of a pug.
Oh, you got to dodge them. Get out the road sometimes, some of those blokes, they can hit. You make a few quid out of it, but it's not such a big deal. The only way you're going to make it is if, say, you went over to a world championship business or something like that, but even then, the old taxman's going to hit you.
They waiting at the door.
He's waiting right at the door. Then if you're married, well, then you... Time goes to your missus and everything, she more or less takes a lot, so... Goodbye, Samson, eh? Well, I know, because I was married to a little Irishman, eh? And I'll tell you what, but she was pretty good. And yet, when it comes to the spondylec, hey, come on. He's pretty fair, she's good. Never mind. Through here, back down this way, over the other side, and 4 points of the compass. Oh yes, I do my little stroll. But I wish I was younger again.
You won't be able to stop you then.
I'll be right up over those hills there, right? Having a good look around.
On TV I saw a story of the Brisbane Blacks, a story that is touching, a story that is right. And in that story, a group of people sitting in a park, drinking in harmony and drinking until dawn.
Now I've got grandsons too in Brisbane, because they get so pressurised and everything, so they turn to drugs, see? They have to. Or even though you tell them, well, you can't, it's no good for you. But that's the only way out, they seem to think.
Wonder why they like that. Those simple drunken blacks, and they know that they done the wrong. The pressure of society is strong.
And I was one of them, see? Yeah, 36 years since I had a drink. Smoke, I used to smoke maybe a packet of log cabin a week. Do that too. Drink, fight, gamble, swear, you name it. Been there, done that, but I'm not going to do it again. So I try to help someone else, pass my experience on to others.
The very first Australians around. The very first people to kneel down. While we fight is to be recognized. There's only to be found by your blind eye. There's only to be found.
You know, the kids that stop out here, they're not sick kids. And I tell tourists this, I tell everyone, I hope they spread it out across the world. They're all healthy kids. Yeah, and even though we're up in age now, we're still healthy people. Yeah? Because we're not associated with all that noise and frustration and everything that's in the city. A lot of my people, just even down the Tablelands, they're going to doctors every week. How are you going? How are you today? Oh, I've been up to the doctor the other day and I've got to go back for a checkup. And they're younger people than myself. It's sad, but that's how it is. Too much pressure in town, if they only realise. And here we have, just in this area, won't be long, 56,000 acres. Why don't you just come and, if you don't want to live in a house, put a tent up. Yeah, you're welcome.
Because this is alcohol and drug free, doesn't mean to say that any other tribal people can't. They can do what they like on their own land. But when they come here, they've got to respect everything about this place.
Well, women never drank. 200 years ago, 150 years ago, even 100 years ago. Aboriginal women never drank. Now they're bigger drunken than their husbands. Eh? Some of my own relations.
Oh yeah, it's few of them. But that's the life they want to live. They keep away from here.
It really disgusts me to see other people, you know, black people drinking wine, you know, day in, day out.
I don't think I'd ever go back down Brisbane. No, I don't really like the big cities that much. Probably the little towns. It's alright, it's more quieter and there's not many people. But I can see myself living back out here, doing what Granddad expects all of us to do, which is look after what he got for us.
Well, we're going to be at 17 already, yeah, but they will come in as time goes on, you know. I mean, they've got to find their way back here now. But the young fellas these days, well, I suppose there's no work for them. How can they learn? You know?
There's no one to teach them. And
Yeah.
well, I mean, like you have this property here now. Well, now that you have it, there is the opportunity for them. You can teach them everything.
Yeah, well, I'm going to have a
And
bloke
it's-
like you to show them.
As
see?
long as
Yeah.
they keep it locked in their brain.
First thing is fencing. Well, if you can get that started first, and you break them into other work. I think the main thing is first is teaching them how to work, how to get up.
I just wanted to cry, but I kept it back. especially when I saw him sitting up at the head of the table there, and just thinking what he went through to get all this stuff back for us, you know, not just for himself but for our future generations and all that stuff.
All that time I was out there, I didn't think that there was that many Bar-Barrum people here and alive and living, but because like they said there was no Bar-Barrum tribe. Like we all have plans of what we're going to do, and it'll be good. A lot of good will come out of it.
And I like a bit of a challenge now and again, right? That's what I said.
Right, there it is, right in front of you.
I
Big stuff.
won't stop until it's finished, and I will see it completed. That is for sure. He has his dream, well I have mine, so
We put them together.
we put them both together, and bingo, we'll do it. And there's no way in the whole wide world it's going to stop us. That is for sure. There is nothing to stop us. The only thing that's going to stop us is our blooming age. That age doesn't make any difference. We're still going.
That's what I say. If, you can only feel as you're only old as what you feel, really, because if I was to stop work now, that'll be the finish of me. I know for sure. Because they say, well, why don't you retire? No, there's no need for me to retire. I've got too much to do yet. Even if it's only a little bit at a time, I'm still going to do it anyway. He didn't want to go then. No, he didn't want to go at all. He saved his money, see, and it was like that. He stopped in the bush, saved his money. Then he said, well, I'm going to buy a car. I'm going into town to buy a car. Because all these people were waiting for him to come into town, and that was it. He got caught up with them, monkeys like we call them, and they helped him spend his money. And it's a funny thing, he never ever came back. Got a phone call 7 o'clock in the morning, and talked about Roy passed on. Had a heart attack. Well, he don't tell you when it happened, see. That's how things happened. He didn't come back anymore. Yeah, well then before that we lost Ashton. Remember Ashton, he was one of the rangers. Yeah, he complained about stomach pains, see. So I took him down to the clinic, and when I went to pick him up again, I said, what did they say? It's like pancreas. They went up and seen him. He was in there for 2 weeks, he was okay, he came out. But the doctor said to him, listen, Ashton, when you go back now, no more drinking. He said, yeah, okay. So while leaving the hospital at Cairns, he went straight on to drink, see. And one Sunday afternoon, we called from the Cairns hospital again, and Marcy answered the phone. She said, well, we've got Ashton Parker in here, and he's really sick. And when we talked to them, they said, well, I'm afraid there's not much chance for Ashton. He just went like that, see. He went straight back on the drink. And when we went and seen him, it was too late, he was too far gone, see. All the people were there. So that happened through this drink. Same thing with Roy. Yeah. My father, my son, my brother, 2 brothers, they all died from the same complaint. Like alcohol was related to their death. Put it this way, if I'm the only fellow on the boat and it's going to sink, well, I've got to try to keep it afloat. That's the way I look at it, you know. And if another bloke comes in, well, good, he can give me a hand. If you want to find out what a country is like, come out of it in its worst state, and you say, well, it's got to get better. You know, it's something like people, eh? Country, nature, it's just like people to me. And when a person gets to his worst, you know, you can see he just want to do everything wrong outside. But that good inside is pushing out the bad, see? And that's what I'm saying. And the country is at its worst now, worst I've ever seen for 20 years. And yet, not far ahead, there's going to be something good come out of it all. Yeah, even the time we had losing, you know, relations and all that, that's all right, they're taken care of. And here we are, we're saying, oh, poor old Roy, poor Ashton, they're okay, they got nothing to worry about.